In the dim archives of the Cultural Analysis Division, Zrek Vol had spent 3 cycles dissecting a human children's cartoon from 1990.
Episode 7. The colorful ships move with a distinct purpose.
He froze the playback on a fleet maneuver and overlaid a standard tactical grid.
That pattern is not random. It is a classic 3-axis planetary siege formation.
He cross-referenced the pattern with the military database.
The match was 97%. This is a functioning battle tactic, not fiction.
He pulled the historical combat records and watched the siege of Tarsus Vif unfold on a separate screen.
Identical. The approach vectors, the timing, the feint, exactly as the cartoon showed.
A cold certainty settled in his chest. This was not an accident.
If one episode contains a real tactic, what else is hidden in the other 50?
He called up episode 14 and let it play, his eyes tracking every ship movement.
The enemy's shields drop after a 2-phase attack, exactly as the Chakran defense grid was breached.
He cross-referenced the attack pattern against the Battle of Chakran archives.
The timing, the frequencies, the follow-through, 94% correlation.
With trembling hands, he pulled up episode 23 and isolated the emergency fold route sequence.
That is not a random jump. It is a pre-plotted escape vector, exactly like the one used at the Marauder crisis.
He sat back, the data burning in his vision.
3 episodes, 3 real combat doctrines, hidden in plain sight.
A cold dread pooled in his stomach.
A children's cartoon, a manual for war. What kind of species does this?
Zrek Vol entered Dren's cluttered office without knocking, the data crystal cold in his palm.
Dren, I need you to verify something from the Human Cultural Archives.
This better not be another dead end. You look like you haven't slept in cycles.
Zrek Vol projected the cartoon sequence, then overlaid the tactical grid from the siege of Tarsus Vive with a trembling hand.
That's a standard planetary siege formation. But why would a children's show include such precise maneuvers?
It matches every recorded maneuver. The timing, the feints, the approach vectors, 97% correlation.
One match could be an accident. Have you checked other episodes?
Zrek Vol pulled up episodes 14 and 23, the data points aligning with the Chakran and Marauder engagements with chilling precision.
3 episodes. 3 real combat doctrines. This can't be coincidence. I don't believe it's deliberate, but fine. Let's run a systematic check on the entire series.
They moved to the deep archives, where the massive holographic battle database could cross-reference centuries of conflict records in seconds.
I've queued up 20 random episodes. The algorithm is cross-referencing every ship movement with our military database.
The screens lit up with matches. 15 episodes contained formations that aligned with historical battles with over 90% correlation.
15 out of 20. Every episode carries a tactical blueprint. This is systematic.
It is not random, Dren. Each episode is a lesson. Humanity has been broadcasting military doctrine to its children.
Dren sank into a chair, his professional skepticism shattered by the sheer volume of evidence.
This isn't a cartoon. It's a weapons system. A generational training program hidden in plain sight.
We have to tell the High Council this cannot wait.
Together, they began drafting a formal report, compiling the evidence that would soon shake the foundations of galactic stability.
The Council will think we've lost our minds, but we have the data. They can't ignore us.
The High Council chamber was silent as Zrek Vol stood at the central podium, the weight of the report pressing against his ribs.
High Minister, esteemed Council, we have discovered something that redefines our understanding of human civilization.
He projected the evidence, the cartoon clips, the tactical overlays, the battle records matching with devastating precision.
Analyst, Zrekvol, you are claiming a children's entertainment program contains functional military doctrine. Explain how that is possible.
The data speaks for itself, High Minister. 15 out of 20 tested episodes align with actual combat maneuvers used by humanity over the centuries.
A murmur rippled through the council. The implications were unthinkable.
If true, humanity has been training every generation to fight without firing a single shot. This council will not act on incomplete data. Zrekvol, you will lead a task force to cross-reference every episode against all known human engagements.
Zrek Vol's stomach tightened. He had just been handed the weight of his civilization's future.
It will be done, but I must warn you. The deeper we dig, the more I fear what we will unearth.
Within hours, Zrek Vol assembled a task force in the central war room, Dren at his side.
Initial scans are cross-referencing 50 episodes against thousands of battle records. This will take cycles.
Cycles we cannot spare. The Council expects answers before the week ends.
Preliminary flags appeared, dozens of potential matches scattered across the decades.
Strong correlations, but statistical. We need manual verification to rule out coincidence.
Then we verify. Every match must be airtight, no ambiguity.
They dove into the data, comparing cartoon sequences with battle logs frame by frame.
Some align perfectly. Others are messy. The pattern is real, but proving it exhaustively, a nightmare.
We know it in our bones, but the Council demands certainty. What if we can never deliver?
A message from the High Minister arrived. Preliminary results expected within 2 cycles. Pressure mounted. Amid the mounting deadline, Zrek Vol isolated the most promising data flag, a siege formation from Episode 7, mirroring the Battle of Proxima.
Running the overlay now. If the vectors match, we have our first undeniable proof.
The holographic map of the Battle of Proxima materialized, ships maneuvering in a planet siege. The cartoon sequence sliding into alignment beside it.
The approach vectors are identical, the pincer timing. It is like watching the cartoon come to life.
The computer flashed a final correlation. 99.2%. The room went cold.
That is not a coincidence. It is a blueprint. They broadcast this to children, then used it in a real war.
They planted the tactic in the minds of a generation, knowing it would emerge when needed.
Silence fell over the war room. The weight of the revelation crushed the air.
If one episode predicts a battle, what else have they planned that we have not seen yet?
Zrek Vol opened a secure channel to the High Council. They had their proof, and it terrified them. With Proxima confirmed, Zrek Vol and Dren accelerated the verification of other high-probability matches.
Episode 14 and the Kessel Offensive. The shield neutralization pattern aligns almost frame for frame.
The holographic display showed human warships executing the exact 2-phase attack depicted in the cartoon.
Another perfect match. It is not just major wars. Every skirmish has a corresponding episode.
Then the Marauder Crisis. The emergency fold route from Episode 23 matched the chaotic escape vector with 98% accuracy.
A pre-plotted escape vector hidden in a cartoon. They gave their commanders the blueprint years in advance.
It is everywhere. A dozen confirmed matches across 2 centuries. This was systematic, deliberate, and terrifying.
They compiled the evidence into a comprehensive dossier, each match annotated with date, episode, and battle correlation.
The Council cannot dismiss this. It is a blueprint of human military evolution, broadcast for all to see.
The dossier was ready. Zrek Vol sent the urgent summons. The High Council must reconvene immediately. The High Council reconvened in grim silence. The dossier projected before them like a verdict.
Esteemed Council, the data is irrefutable. 12 major human battles match episode tactics with over 95% correlation.
You are telling us that every major human conflict of 2 centuries was first broadcast as a cartoon to their children?
Yes, High Minister. Each episode contains a complete tactical doctrine, absorbed unconsciously by an entire generation.
Every human adult, a trained military asset. They never needed conscription. They made war a nursery rhyme. Every human adult is technically an officer, trained from childhood. How do we oppose such a species?
The council erupted. Voices clashed. Fear transformed into argument, the chamber descending into chaos.
They argue while the evidence screams. Humanity has been preparing for something, and we are only now listening.
No one could agree on a response. The council splintered between panic, denial, and calls for immediate mobilization. The session ended without a decision. Zrek Vol was ordered to expand the investigation, but the fear had already taken root. Before Zrek Vol could leave, a senior military advisor stepped forward, voice trembling. "Consider this. The humans knew we would intercept the broadcasts. They wanted us to find the tactics. It is a trap."
You suggest they engineered this discovery to make us panic, to overextend our forces.
The implication hung like a blade. If the broadcast was bait, then every action they took could be playing into human hands.
Zrek Vol, this changes everything. We need motive, not just method. Why would they arm their children and broadcast it to the stars?
Motive. We have been cataloging the notes, not the symphony. There is still a hidden purpose. I will find it. High Minister, there is a pattern we have not seen yet. I need to return to the raw data.
Orin dismissed him with a grave nod. The council remained paralyzed, but Zrek Vol had a new objective. He returned to the deep archives, pulling up the series finale, the episode that had always troubled him, ending not in battle, but with a cryptic message.
It is not just a cartoon. There is a countdown hidden in the credits, and a formation, one I have not seen before.
He shifted to the transmission logs, pulling up the broadcast history of Star Patrol friends.
The first broadcast aired 70 years ago. The same episodes, looping every few cycles without interruption.
He cross-referenced with current civilian channel intercepts and froze the playback.
Even now, children watch. A new generation absorbs the tactics while we still study the ashes.
The broadcast logs exposed a deliberate cycle, ensuring every generation matured under its influence.
They never stopped. The war never ended. It is just a quiet, perpetual drumbeat.
A chill ran through him. Their dossier captured a moment, but the real threat was a living program.
We thought we found a historical artifact. It is an active weapons system, still priming tomorrow's battles.
He compiled the broadcast timeline and flagged an urgent update for the High Council.
They must know. Tomorrow is already written in the eyes of their children.
Zrek Vol rushed back to the High Council, the timeline burning in his data crystal.
High Minister, the broadcast never ended. Star Patrol Friends is still on human channels, 7 decades and running.
He projected a live intercept of a human living room, where a father and child laughed at the cartoon's antics.
The same episodes, looped every 4 years. A new generation absorbs the doctrines before they can read.
They have been operating a perpetual military academy disguised as a nursery. Every child a cadet.
The chamber fell into a deeper silence, the earlier chaos now replaced by a collective, breathless dread.
7 decades, uninterrupted. They have never stopped the signal. We are witnessing a slow-motion invasion.
What is the current cycle preparing for? We must know the specific objective.
Zrek Vol had no answer yet. The hidden message in the finale was the only clue left. The Council's emergency protocols were raised to the highest level short of mobilization. Time was running out. Back in the archives, Zrek Vol focused on the finale episode, isolating the cryptic credit sequence.
The flickering symbols at the end, they are not just visual noise. It is a layered encryption.
He applied a decryption algorithm, and the symbols coalesced into a cascading numeric sequence.
Numbers and a countdown timer. The sequence ends when the current broadcast cycle completes.
Beneath the countdown, a formation pattern emerged, an envelopment maneuver intricately detailed.
This is not a random formation. It is designed to encircle and neutralize a specific defense layout.
He overlaid the pattern onto a standard tactical map and froze.
It matches our standard defense array. Every position, every countermeasure, they built a trap specifically for us.
The countdown showed 0 cycles remaining. The final episode was not a lesson, it was an activation signal.
The broadcast was not just training, it was a trigger, and it just went off.
In the central war room, Zrek Vol streamed the decrypted finale to Orin, his voice thin.
The countdown ended hours ago. The formation matches our defense array perfectly.
A trap centuries in the making, triggered on our watch. High Minister Orin's order cut through. Declare state of emergency. All fleets to battle stations, now.
Alarms blared, Holographic star maps shifted to tactical red, fleet assembly ventrally, vectors illuminating. Outside, sleek organic warships ignited engines, moving to staging points in a desperate race against an unseen enemy. Zrek Vol was ordered to the strategy console to help devise a counter-formation against the trap.
How do you counter a tactic you taught your enemy before they were born? I am building sand castles against a wave that has been gathering for 70 years.
The fleet moved into an uncertain sky, and Zrek Vol felt the weight of an impending failure he could not prevent. Zrek Vol loaded their current fleet positions into a simulation and ran the finale formation as a hostile envelopment.
The arcs of fire, the overlapping kill zones. Every vector is calculated for our standard response.
The simulation concluded with a stark red overlay. Fleet destruction in under 17 minutes.
It is not just a trap. It is a predictive kill box. They know exactly how we will move.
He opened a direct channel to the council chamber. Oren's face appeared, already hollow with dread.
High Minister, I have simulated our defense formation against the finale pattern. The result is catastrophic.
Show me.
The simulation played. Ships blinked out in sequence, the formation closing like jaws. The council watched their fleet die in silence.
Then we are already defeated. Every command we gave, every protocol we trained, they scripted our response centuries ago.
The chamber fell into a void of hopelessness. Zrek Vol had no words, only the cold confirmation of a war lost before it began. A klaxon shattered the council's despair. Long-range sensors screamed contact, the display resolved. A human fleet in the exact envelopment formation from the finale, bearing down on their border.
They have come, exactly as the cartoon promised.
Through the viewport, the distant stars shimmered as human warships took position, their engines silent and terrible.
Every vector matches the simulation. They are not here to negotiate. They are closing the trap.
All ships to battle stations. We will stand, even if the outcome is written.
Alien cruisers formed a defensive line, but every commander knew it was the exact formation the trap was designed to break.
High Minister, any attempt to break formation will only accelerate collapse. The human algorithm accounted for every contingency.
The human fleet held position, weapons dark as if waiting for a predetermined signal.
They are waiting for us to make the first move, and any move we make, they already bought and paid for in a children's cartoon.
The alien communications officer attempted hails on every known frequency, voice tight with dread. The human fleet did not respond to hails. Instead, a single narrow beam request cut through the static. Video channel.
They wish to speak. Perhaps this is not yet a massacre. Accept the channel.
Hope is another variable they have already predicted. This is part of the script.
The council's main screen flickered once, then resolved into the image of a human commander. He wore a crisp uniform, dark hair touched with gray at the temples, and a smile that held no threat but all certainty.
That smile, it knows everything we have found. Every sleepless cycle, every desperate conclusion.
Commander Stephen Reyes did not speak. He simply regarded the assembly with quiet amusement, as if savoring a moment long anticipated. The silence stretched across the light years, and every counselor felt 70 years of preparation pressing down from that pause. And then Commander Reyes opened his mouth to speak.
You finally watched. 70 years. We have been broadcasting our entire military doctrine on public channels. Did you think we were hiding it?
Behind him, a holographic timeline unspooled. Episode after episode matched to battles, decades of preparation.
Every battle you cross-referenced, every tactic you decoded, we planted them so you would find them. This was never a secret. It was an invitation to understand what humanity truly is.
Zrek Vol felt the ground of his understanding shift. The horror was not that humanity had hidden their weapon, but that they had handed it over willingly.
You turned your children into unwitting soldiers and broadcast the manual to the galaxy. For what purpose?
Purpose. To ensure that any species intelligent enough to decode the message also understands that we are not prey.
The council chamber fell into a void of stunned silence. 70 years of paranoia had been scripted, and they had followed it perfectly.
They never needed to fight us. They made us dismantle our own fear, and still we stand here waiting for a battle that was never the point.
Every human who grew up with the show knows this formation. Our weapons are not locked, but we are in position. We have been waiting for you to catch up for decades. Your analysis was the final piece.
The council chamber erupted in whispers of panic. Orin struggled to maintain order.
High Minister, Council, I have spent my life studying humanity. May I speak?
Speak, analyst. Your voice has never been more relevant.
Commander Reyes, you've shown us your doctrine. What do you truly want from us?
Not conquest, analyst, understanding. We wanted you to see us clearly, without the filters of fear or hope.
Then let me understand. I have spent my life decoding your signals. Let me experience what it means to be human.
Such an opportunity has always been yours for the asking. Zrek Volume.
What are you doing, Zrek Vol?
High Minister, I seek what our warships cannot achieve. Commander Reyes, is peace possible between us?
Peace requires seeing without fear. You decoded our broadcast. Come to Earth and learn humanity beyond the tactics.
Then I request asylum. Let me experience your world not through signals, but among your people.
Granted. The invitation has always been open. Zrek Volume.
The council erupted in outrage. Shouts of traitor filled the chamber. Orin's face twisted with fury.
They think I betray them, but only I see clearly. There is no war, only a test of understanding.
Zrek Vol faced the raging council one last time, his expression calm amid the storm.
You would abandon your people for a species that just encircled our fleet?
I am not abandoning. I am bridging a gap you refuse to cross. That is the only victory.
He stepped off the podium, his decision irrevocable. The path to Earth was open, and he would walk it. The council's shouts echoed through the grand doors as Zrek Vol stepped into the corridor, not looking back.
You are making the greatest mistake of our history, Zrek Vol.
They cannot see that the mistake was waiting in fear. I choose understanding, not doctrine.
A soft chime in his communicator confirmed. A human shuttle was descending toward the docking bay. Through the station viewport, a sleek human shuttle emerged against the nebula, its ramp open and lights glowing.
A Saturday morning class vessel, built for children's dreams, now carrying a first step into adulthood.
He walked the long corridor to the docking bay, the shadows of his world stretching one final time behind him. At the airlock, he paused, a last glance at the nebula his people called home.
I leave not as a traitor, but as the first to truly see. This is the only victory.
The shuttle's ramp hummed its final welcome, and Zrek Vol stepped forward, away from the only life he had known, toward the unknown. The shuttle interior was quiet, human design soft and efficient. Zrek Vol stood at a broad viewport, watching the nebula recede.
A lifetime of analysis, and I never imagined the data would bring me here.
From a nearby corridor, a child's excited voice crackled over the intercom. "Mom, I got the new Star Patrol Friends hologame. Episode 51 has a bonus mission." Zrek Vol's lips curved into a faint, resigned smile. The cycle did not break. It simply continued.
They encode their future into games now. 70 years, and the machine still primes its children.
Through the viewport, the blue marble of Earth grew larger, communication satellites buzzing in orbit. The humans had welcomed him, not as a defector, but as a reader who finally understood the story. And somewhere on that planet, a new generation laughed at colorful ships, learning the arts of war without ever knowing it. The broadcast never ended. It never would.